you anyway. Where are you? How far in the future? Where'd you find my journal? You can know me from what I put down on these pages. I come from a little village in the mountains. No one has left here since before I was born. But our lives changed overnight, just a few days ago when my best friend had a prophetic dream. A vision that the elder said means this season is going to end soon. The world is about to enter a new era. Everyone was afraid. I was surrounded by questions and I began to feel how little I know. What is this season that is about to end, and why is it ending? What exactly is out there that could turn the world inside out? If there are still voices singing and laughing in the wilderness, I could record them before they're gone. I also thought of my dad, who always wanted to see the outside world but never did. So, I asked if I could leave. The elder had one condition for letting me go: that I take what I collect to the museum vault, a palace of art and memory at the edge of the earth. She says it's the only place safe from the turmoil of a changing season. I hope that's where you're reading this now. I can't stop the change that is coming, but this time on Earth could live on in these pages. What it looks like, sounds like, how it feels to be alive right now. I'm writing to you at the crack of dawn on the morning I leave home. I can smell breakfast cooking in the other room, and I can hear my mom's voice.
Three, two, one. Hooray! Mr. Lotto's here.
The burner's on the table, ready to make a pendant. Mom is cooking sweet bark soup. She got out some old tapes.
You're up. What are you doing standing there? Time to get going. It's gonna be a beautiful morning. I'm making progress. I found the burner, camera, breakfast is in progress. Still gotta make a pendant. We haven't used this in so long. Good thing I saved the instructions. Just as you would use a sheet, an identity pendant protects your thoughts, memory. We don't wear them here in the village anymore. But if you're going into the outside world, I'll feel better when you've got a pendant shielding you. Diseases of the mind, like the dream sickness. It was Dr. Fumio's last invention. He realized that some psychedelic maladies were impossible to cure, so he made the pendant to prevent them in the first place. If you have a better idea how to protect your... let's hear it. That's what I thought. In times of war, a pendant... let's skip that part. Objects have two layers. The physical, the pendant needs to absorb both. 1. Collect a sentimental object for each sense: sound, smell, feel, sight, taste. 2. 3. The memory will leave the speaker as it is transferred to the pen. That means I'll forget the memory after I say it. It's supposed to be painless. At least. Okay, so this old... I remember you and I fell asleep listening to this tape. Your dad came home. We all rested together until it got dark. What an odd feeling. Like an absence. The empty space fills itself back in until I forget that. I'm glad I'm only losing a few memories. If I lost too many, I wouldn't even know who you are. You should pick the rest of the objects. I'll lose the memories, but you'll have them independent forever. So they should be important to you. They should be parts of your identity you want to be sure to protect. So think about what these items and what the memories would preserve about you. Let's do smell next. Find an object with a strong odor and that holds a piece of you.
Ancient, perfume, sweet. Nothing is ever lost.
What did you choose for smell? Let's breathe in deep. Your dad used to bring these flowers home from his climbs. They only grow high up in the mountains. He was a great climber. He even found us a new source of water. I hoped after he would climb less. But he always wanted to explore. And the only direction to... Maybe the Elder is letting you leave out of guilt for what happened to your dad. If someone has the energy to leave, it needs to... He fell into the Fitz ravine. We never found his body. But doesn't he rest with us at night? Doesn't he appear in our dreams? How can such a human being depart this earth without leaving behind a trace as strong as the flowers would still have their scent? Darling, I don't want to lose this one. I can't lose this one. Can we put the flowers back, please? Thank you.
Childhood. Too sweet, too old. I always wanted to experience new things.
What did you choose for smell? Let's breathe in deep. This ginger drink has been in our family for generations. And you, as soon as you were old enough to talk, you said, "Let's drink it." It's hundreds of years old, like you already wanted to experience something different. Well, we all had one horrible sip. But boy, we laughed. What would we do without you? What will we do without you? Now touch. Pick something with a texture you like.
Wax, soft, ancient wall. I was loved by people I have no memory of. Soft, cold, smooth. I used to see souls everywhere.
So what did you end up choosing? Okay, feel the spoon. There were years when you saw faces everywhere. We had to be gentle with everything in case it had a soul. I remember you saw some sticks on the ground in the shape of a face. You were so worried what would happen if the wind blew. I secretly put the sticks away and showed you the face on this spoon. Look, she transformed, I said. You were so serious, studying it, thinking how eventually you stopped seeing faces everywhere. Does the world have fewer souls in it now than when you were a child? Or are they still out there? I'm fine. Let's do sight next. Pick something that looks nice.
My hand when I was a child. This speaks to how my mom loves me.
So, what did you end up choosing? Oh, I remember it so well. It's not as bad now, but in the old days, not many children lived long enough to grow up. We believed if a child could make it to the age of 9, they'd be all right. This print was made of your hand when you turned 9. Your father and I couldn't believe we really had a healthy girl. An old deep fear inside of me finally went away, and we saw you would just keep growing and growing. It's going to be okay. For taste, we can eat breakfast and feed some to the burner. The memory I'll lose is the one we're forming right now. I want you to have it forever. standing here, you're having a last taste of home. Now you're protected by lost memories. A gem of home around your neck. This is my only condition for letting you go. You must promise me never to take the pendant off. And never tamper with it. Okay? Then I'm okay with you leaving. I think your camera and bag are still in your room. It's time to gather them up. I've lost so much. How could the world ask me to lose you too? Look at us. There we are. There we were. We'll always be right here on this beautiful morning.
I just performed a ritual with my mom. The moment has passed, but I'll record it in these pages for you, for the future. I never knew when my mom would share a memory of Dad while cooking, on a walk, with no warning. It knocked the wind out of me. Rituals take this grief and give it a shape and a story. Filling in this journal is a ritual too, but for a loss that hasn't hit us yet. I've brought tools to record the sights and sounds of this season. I'll start by recording the only place I've ever known. We have plenty of fresh water here. I wonder if it's more scarce in the outside world. Last night there was a goodbye party here in the plaza. Everyone was so afraid for me. To understand that fear, to understand where I grew up, you have to know the man standing watch over the plaza, Dr. Fumio. Last night, my friends wrote down their hopes for my trip and tied them to the branches of this tree. This is a healing instrument created by Dr. Fumio. It draws on the pure mountain air. Dr. Fumio and his son founded Cairo back in 776. They live on through our traditions. There are 3 murals celebrating Dr. Fumio's work. Dr. Fumio said the dream sickness was caused by something very powerful. He wasn't able to cure it. This is Dr. Fumio and his son. The statue isn't as old as it looks. The artist wore it down to give it a feeling of ancientness and the authority that comes with it. Pate loves fish, even though nobody here has ever seen one. The elder sought out Dr. Fumio to cure her mother, who was suffering from time misperception Remembering everything must be painful. Dr. Fumio brought peace to so many people here. Dr. Fumio was an important person, but we also just have a need to put a human face on events that are beyond our control. He may have felt just as scared and helpless as everyone else. I go fishing here with my best friend Pate, even though there's nothing to catch. We both appreciate the silence. Karo Village was founded during the modernity. Much later, Dr. Fumio arrived and remade it in his image. A village that was created as a place to heal. Is that where my instinct to try to help comes from? It's so strange to imagine I'll be shaped by places and people I haven't met yet. So strange to imagine that I might feel at home somewhere else. This flower means you're in my thoughts. The morning after the search was called off for Dad, our doorstep was covered in them.
Is it recording?
Yes.
Okay. How to leave home for my daughter. Find a sacred square of earth. Lay down so you have the dirt at your back. close your eyes. Close everything. Do you see for yourself? You see for the dead, for the unborn. Do you listen for yourself? You listen for the dead, for the unborn. Your ancestors are in that dirt. All the living and all the dead are holding you up. Now, stand. They're still there, aren't they? It's time to move, to entangle yourself everywhere with everyone. So the next time you lay down in the dirt, you will have so much more to tell them.
Pate fixed up 3 bikes instead of 1. Before setting up in Kero village, Dr. Fumio roamed the land curing people. It must have been hard when he wasn't around anymore, especially for people who couldn't travel to the village. Traders used to come to the outskirts of the village. The war put an end to this. That poor baby. They were right. The letter never made it. The season before this one, the war, seems so horrible. I heard at some point the tides got less predictable. Places flooded that never had before. In the village, these cranes look like little creatures, grazing. I had no idea how huge they are. A crane to move materials around. The things that used to be possible. My first time petting an animal. I think it went pretty well. We learned about old technology in school, but not much about animals. What are these strange goat-like creatures? Are they simply goats? That time it felt off. I guess I had beginner's luck before. Okay, now I got it back. I'm in control. I can easily pet certain four-legged animals. I cycled through landscapes, seeing them for the first and last time. I had no idea when I left my home how the season would end, or more importantly, how soon. On a cold, damp day, I feel true loneliness for the first time. Nobody could have described with words how big this world is, how it goes and goes. Where others passed before me. When the season turns, the reasons behind things might disappear. But the engine may survive. The power is not lost. It's just buried a little. Someone was out here alone. used the walls like I use my journal. One melody is like me out here alone. I can't really live like this. I have a feeling they use these music boxes to fall asleep. Two voices is like me. They kept themselves company with music. Three voices is complex as life is supposed to be. Looks like they made it out of here. But what is this group? In the empty places, I found companionship in the tapes I recorded before leaving home. The elder told me the story of her life. I listened back to it, ready to note down anything that seemed important.
Let's set the scene for the listener. Whoever that might be. This is the elder speaking. We're sitting in the plaza, saying goodbye to a dear soul. We're here to see if there's anything useful in my mind that could help you on your trip. A century's worth of memories, dreams, fantasies, like a big, old, haunted library. When I die, this library will burn down. But which book should we check out first? I don't have all the answers. But I do feel the story of my life could help you understand what kind of world is out there. It's okay not to understand everything right away. The moment may pass before you've gotten a firm hold on it. But as long as you're there to witness it, to take it down in your journal, you, and others to come, will someday take the time to make sense of it all. First, I got old. That being an elder is all about how you react to strain. The key is not to be surprised, but kind of frown, look and say something like, "It begins." Never say, I don't know. Say, we dive into a pool of uncertainty. I was born on the ocean. My mother and father worked on a cruise ship, the short-lived but glorious Floating Cities. Most won their independence by the time I was born. How can I describe them? They were a jewel of the golden pleasure boats with a radical political program. The golden age was a time of flags, My mom taught me to read them. She was a ship's philosopher. My dad was a recycling engineer. Recycling on the ship was a matter of life. We had to get the most out of every object and watt of energy. My grandparents played with the past. They changed it like we change our wardrobe. So it was a different answer every time. But they often said we were exiles of some kind. Exiled royalty from a secret lineage. Blood that were exiled from the mouth of some great leviathan. When they were older, they just said, we're from here. We're from right now. I loved the way the ship would tilt and roll with the waves, especially as I fell asleep. It was picture me as a kid in bed, feeling it was like being rocked to sleep as a baby. I loved exploring the ship too, wandering through the suites, the swimming pool, the game rooms. There were 2 dance halls, a large, elegant one and another one in the base. A lot of my firsts were down there. My first dance, and so forth. Our ship was taken over in the early days of the war. That was the end of the watery republics. I heard the dance hall in the basement became a weapons cache. Took me half my life to say goodbye to the world I knew, and imagine me and my parents and everyone I knew being escorted off by a company of soldiers. And I'm thinking, I hope they don't make a mess of my room. I was embarrassed by the younger kids who were crying their eyes out, but they knew, I guess. Even as things got bad, I couldn't imagine the changes. It's easy now to look back and say the internationalism of the golden season was violently breaking down. You can be naive about all kinds of things, but not. Most of my life has been spent in isolated communities, and the one moment I was in, you couldn't pick a more chaotic time. And we had been warned the season was going. Oh, but we didn't understand the warning. You see, one night, along a coastline, we saw shimmering above the water. Later, we found out this was an ancient warning. It hadn't been used in so long. We didn't know what it meant. We just thought, well, ain't that pretty? We tried to stick together and camped out on the coast of the prismatic grounds. A kingdom of art and science. They got rich during the golden season. Everything that made them beloved before the wealth came. Passionate, uncompromising, made them unbearable once they had power. Artists make terrible kings. Are you sure you want me to keep going? The story gets darker from here on. That was plenty. I want you to have a safe and beautiful trip. Never feel alone. We'll all be here thinking of you.
I imagined coming upon a place as hidden and singular as my own village. Eventually, I found myself circling a valley, looking for a way in. This valley is asking people for a visit. I should oblige it. We never used this kind of technology in my village. Nobody trusted it.
Oh. The valley. One second.
The elder said that people were exhausted by symbols after the war. But here are a few hanging.
Is that a strotopop? Yeah, what is it? I love old gear like that. It's getting more and more rare. I had a camera, but it broke. Not that interesting of a story. What are you doing here? Well, you're just in time. Here I am. What kind of stuff are you recording? That's the way to do it, if you ask me. If anyone asked me, the valley would be a good place to use those tools. Too bad it's closed down. Let me finish up here, huh?
I'm not the first to do this. Just the first in a long time.
Hey. This was like a second home for a while. That was fun earlier when you showed up. And I was carrying the cardboard man. You were like, who are these guys? I've been pretty bored. You know, the valley's going to be flooded soon. That's why nobody can go in there. It's too old. There's nobody left who knows how to repair it. We're taking it down so we'll know when it'll collapse. It gives us time to evacuate everyone. Greyhounders. We're a community organization. We do all kinds of fun stuff. Health clinics, minesweeping, daycare, evacuations. We're new. It was supposed to be because we're helpful yet neutral. We took a vote and decided to change the name, though. We want something more friendly sounding. I'm excited to find out what it would be. We're trying to get new things going. But it's hard. The past really has a tight grip on people. Doesn't feel like a fair fight. So we're trying to, well, anyway. It's funny. I stood guard here for a week, and I've only seen greyhounds like myself, and valley people on their way out. But now I see you, and you're like a... new element or something. I've never met anyone doing what you're doing. And we Greyhands gotta support new things. So... I'm not supposed to let anyone in. How can I? Jeez. I think you should go down into the valley and take a look. Gotta try something here. Dang it. I was trying to wink. Well, you get the idea. Go on and put that old gear to use. You can take my map of the valley, too. I don't need it anymore. I'll be down to pick everyone up around midnight. See you then.
I met a Greyhand. He let me into the valley. I think he wanted me to record what the Greyhands were up to, and he gave me a map. The assembly point seemed like a good place to start. I wonder what he expects me to discover in the valley. I'll think about what kind of visitor I want to be. It seems like I'll have to wait for night to enter the shrine. I am probably the last person that will ever be welcomed here by this sign. The Elder told me there's very little information about the years before 500. All above will remain, all below will wash away. I have wondered about the lives beneath unkept graves. I wonder what the flowers have to say.
God of sleep, I've been gathering harpic, and I've been gathering courage. If my big prayer is wrong, if it goes against divine will, please spare the people of this valley. We're so desperate for peace.
A memory told over and over again. She must have been important to have such an elaborate solitary tune. These metal animals are looking up, expectantly. It sounds like they want to adapt their organization to the people in it. There's a number to call for questions regarding the dam. There must be a lot of people going to the city if they need to keep track of them with cards. Imagine if the man I met is the only living Greyhand, and the rest are cardboard. The Grey Hands want to end this season. Say they're going to build the next season. How? It's hard to imagine something new, a new way of living, but they're trying. The elder also said low places are dangerous. The city is high up like my village. Maybe it is safer. The Grey Hands seem to care what people think about them. There seems to be suspicion about the real condition of the dam and why it's being taken down.
Oh, thank God someone is still down there. I've been trying to get a hold of someone for hours. Ah, thank you. I forgot the Day Zero materials. You know, the visual literature, the warm bath of ideas? I left it at the dig site. It should be sitting on a barrel with a fruit sticker on it. Oh, wait! Hold on. I forgot to do the secret password. I don't even know who you are. Is it too late now, you think? Yeah, the locals don't use the telephone anyway. The hermit in the woods is afraid to because she got hit by lightning once. Anyways, thanks for answering. The day zero material is in the dig site, pretty sure. It should be sitting on a barrel that has a fruit sticker on it. You know, I was going to say you could, but the flood will destroy it anyway. So actually, I was worried for nothing. Everything is lost in a flood. God, we really know what we're doing. I'm excited for this all to be over. I'm excited for this all to begin. Bye-bye now.
The process of taking people out of the valley was also a kind of ritual, a way of bridging one life to another. They know the world they're leaving. The next one hasn't been created yet. The artist has depicted the Greyhands as a child. They don't have faith in their capabilities, but see them as innocent? Is that your name on your collar? Let's see. You are Madrigal. And you are Mata. And your name is Tupet. I wonder who named you that. These people had to leave so much behind.
Wow, we got a big show today.
Huge show.
Breaking news. The Greyhands have died.
We're being reborn, baby.
And we're taking suggestions for our new name.
Live on the air suggestions from the rank and file.
You don't even need to be a Greyhand to suggest a name.
True, true.
The number to call is 0019. That is 0019. First caller, hit us with a name.
Hi, yeah. I was thinking the bricklayers.
Okay. Bricklayers.
Laying some bricks. Well, yeah, thanks for the suggestion.
We'll be taking them all afternoon, so keep them coming.
That number again is 0019. You're listening to Greyhand Radio. We are broadcasting live from Greyhand HQ.
And we're gonna take a little break.
If the Greyhands are changing their name, you'd know them as something else. Cows from all over the world came here to compete in cow stuff? The golden season seems like such a different world. You are a cow and you are named Kresnahorkai. A beautiful cow named Gorp. The sound of this bell has a lot of character. I've never drank cow's milk, let alone the name of this cow is TVC-15, oh my. Looks like there's no one around anymore to enforce this. I wish Pate could call this hotline to talk about his heavy dream. These signs are so demanding. I can't imagine them in my village. There are a lot of these signs. They must really want to keep people out of this area. I found a dig site that is fenced off from view. What were they doing here? A gray hand said he left his materials behind. It should be somewhere around here. There's a big tree with a researcher's notebook inside it somewhere. This is the kind of brain trouble my mom warned me about. The work at the dig site has something to do with Day Zero. I wonder what this channel is for. They must have already shipped out all the Harpic they need. Memories and emotions condensed into a mineral. I wonder what's on this reel. What is Day Zero? Maybe I can find out more about it.
I've recreated the same setup as the prayer statues, right here in my workshop. I set up a singing bowl so I can verify the pattern that will form in the water. And some Harpic, of course. Each god seems to correspond to a resonating frequency. And when this vibration acts on the Harpic, we get the psychoactive response. Going to give it a try here.
I remember watching my dad make shadow puppets on the wall. Felt strange because I could see how it was done. I could see the trick of it, but it still felt kind of magical.
It worked. I do feel the more I do this, the more tired, and it feels like it takes me longer to return to the present. But now I have some control. I face the question of how this mineral affects the soil. I still have a lot of work to do. That's all for today.
A mineral that can affect the mind. They dug up all that Harpic in order to conduct some sort of prayer on day 0. The memories of the owner now turned into a beautiful mineral.
The necessity of day 0 is not just psychological, it's ecological. Because there is a compounding effect to these minerals and their psychological effect. And we see this in Tiang Valley. There is a memory and a memory of a memory and a memory of a memory of a memory. This echo effect, this recursive nature is the problem. As this cycles through the ecosystem,